Hey, what's up, guys? This is Terabyte, and welcome back to Asagao Academy. So, in the last episode, our little bird, Jock, the real one, he completely destroyed and trashed Mai and Hana's room. Maya. Okay. Any case. So, that's what happened, and we're gonna continue on from there. Alright, let's go. Hana, wake up. I was jolted awake by Mai, who stood in her volleyball uniform, duffel bag at her side, and fury on her face.
What the
hell? Ooh. Uh-oh. She pissed. Rightfully so. But still. Jeez. I blinked rapidly, the rest of the room coming into rough focus. The mess on the floor, the cotton everywhere, Mai's things spread all over. Oh? Oh, is that all you have to say? I hung my head, trying to keep tears from streaming down my face, yet again. My eyes were raw enough as it was. For the first time since entering the room, Mai seemed to realize something was wrong. Wait, are you okay, Hana? She sat down on the edge of my bed, setting her bag between her feet. I tried to speak, but my throat was shut tight. I swallowed several times, to no avail. Finally, Mai stretched an arm out and took my hand in hers. Okay, tell me what happened. You have to. Whatever you've been hiding, it's clear something is up, and I'm super worried about you. I looked at my hand in Mai's, and then the torn rabbit piece crumpled next to my pillow. I told John I wouldn't tell anyone. I promised, but now Mai was involved. Her things destroyed, and her roommate a mess. She deserved some kind of explanation, but I wasn't sure John would ever forgive me if I betrayed his trust. We told him we'd keep his secret, and I mean, she'd understand, right? Well, I mean, a promise is a promise, and it doesn't mean that you couldn't tell her at a later date. So, we'll evade it. I really want to tell you what happened, but I can't. Seeing the look on her face, I reiterated. I can't. I made a promise. I know that if you had something you wanted me to keep secret, you wouldn't want me to tell anybody, right? I said it out of desperation, hoping she would understand. To my great surprise, Mai seemed caught off guard. Yeah, you're right. There are things I wouldn't. She trailed off. But are you okay? I nodded slowly. I'm really sorry, Mai. I really, really am. Tears pricked at the backs of my eyes, and Mai rubbed my shoulders.
I'll support you.
Hey, shh. It's okay, Hana, don't worry. Gotta say, good friend, very understanding. But like I said, I mean, it's not like she couldn't tell her at a later date. But to say, hey, I really can't tell you right now, I think that's fair. But that's just me. Between the two of us, we'll have this mess cleaned up in no time, right? She bounded to her feet, completely restored from her intense anger. Yeah, we'll totally kick this mess's ass. Mai might be quick to jump to conclusions, but she was just as quick to move on from them. A small smile crossed my lips. Right, let's get to work. I had forgotten. I might not have Mr. Bunny anymore, but I had friends now. It wasn't enough to ease the pain of loss, but it was enough to give me the strength to get out of bed. I'm still not really sure I get it. It was Saturday afternoon, and Mai and I were with Satch in the library, bent over our math notebooks. I mean, it's a logical equation, but when I plug in the numbers, I don't seem to get the same answer as you. What am I doing wrong? Satch chuckled and pointed between my equation and the one in the book. You forgot to copy down these parentheses, so you're doing it out of order. Oh, jeez. You know, it's kind of funny, Hana. You're a natural for strategies and seeing patterns in things, which you think would make you good at math, but it's not that I'm bad at it. I get good grades in it. It's just that, I mean, if I know what the answer is, why do I have to go to all the stupid effort to show my work? And then the results don't match what I thought. I bit my lip, not liking how ditzy I felt, but Mai whistled. Math. my one enemy. And stairs. And grass. Moving on. You really are a genius. I glanced at Satch's notebook, on which he was scrawling out a complicated algorithm for some kind of machine he was working on. I don't think I'm the genius. Satch looked up and grinned. You two are ridiculous. You'll be right up where I am next year, so don't even act like I'm special or something. I blushed, but Mai rolled her eyes. The day I reach your level is the day Jared actually decides to date me. I winced at her put down, but Mai seemed completely okay with what she had just said. She had finally come to terms with the fact that Jared seemed, frankly, uncomfortable around her. I watched her carefully. Maybe this was exactly what she needed, though. Now she could get to know the actual Jared, instead of the Jared she'd built up in her head. Although the actual Jared seemed surprisingly fishy to me.
What's going on?
Oh, John. Hey man, what brings you here? I jumped. John appeared behind me, looking distinctly uncomfortable, hands in his pockets. He gestured towards the door.
Hey.
I was hoping I could speak to you, Hana. I was looking all over for you. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sure. I nodded to Mai and Satch, then followed John out of the library. We stepped out onto the slightly chilly air. I glanced at the clouds above us, silver ridges lining their edges. Looks like rain. I guess so. Oh, he looks disappointed. John nodded. I wrapped my arms around my body, getting a bit cold. I didn't have the comfortable jacket. John did. So I just wanted to apologize for what happened yesterday. I should have stayed with you or taken the Jacques to my room. I know how you are with birds, so I should have been more careful. No, I'm sorry. I just had this crazy outburst, and you had no idea what was going on. And I'm the one who said I could handle it, and I'm the one who let him out of the box. John chuckled. If you ask me, we're both at fault. John beamed as if somehow both of us being at fault exonerated us. It wasn't exactly what I wanted to hear. But there was no reason it couldn't work like that, so why not? Anyways, I wanted to make it up to you, so how's about we go on a date? Tomorrow, you know, if you wanna, and if you have time. I don't want to put pressure on you or anything. Oh, that's cute! Pretty much my comment on this entire game is just, oh, that's cute! I beamed, clapping my hands together.
Yeah.
Of course I do. I'd love to. Yay! We're gonna go on a date, John. Yet another date. Because I'm sorry, I count the Flower Festival as a date. So, yep.
Yeah!
Great. Great, that's awesome. The sun broke through the clouds above us, warming my face. I smiled, stretching my arms out to absorb the sudden light. What a great day! So, about the new Jacques. I'm getting a little nervous. He's a really antsy bird, way more than I anticipated. He's not as predictable as Jacques was. And now we were on to new Jacques. John was apparently completely unable to read moods. I had to tape over the entrance to his birdhouse because he kept trying to eat all of PBG's nachos. I didn't even know birds could eat nachos. They probably couldn't. Well, Jacques was a robot, so... Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to spend a lot of time training him, but there's only 3 weeks until the play, and the tournament, and I need to practice for that too. I'm starting to get a little worried, is what I'm saying. If it doesn't help that I procrastinate the heck out of these kinds of things, the more important, the worse it is! You and me both, buddy. I mean, come on. How long's it been since I started playing this? Wouldn't it help if I trained him too? That way you could have time off to do homework or practice or whatever. John glanced at me in surprise, then chuckled. Cute. Mm-hmm. After everything that happened yesterday, you'd still offer to take over for me? I mean, if it's for you, I don't see the problem. Maybe if we work together, we'll even be able to teach him the the old Jacques robot voice. Oh man, that's a huge weight off my chest. Thank you so much, Hana. John stepped forward as if to hug me, then stopped. Anyways, I gotta head back. Scene painting's happening today. I'm supposed to supervise. Last year they painted boobs and penises all over the set, so... Right, go ahead.
See you later.
I'll come pick you up tomorrow, so be ready. John jogged off towards the theater. I cupped my hands around my mouth. And don't you dare dress like Malkovich. John waved at me. Whether that meant he was going to, or wasn't going to, I didn't know. With joy bouncing in my stomach like a squirrel on too much caffeine, I darted back to the library, intent on finishing my homework before the next day. It took me several hours to finish all of the homework I had accumulated over the past week. So much happened and so much to process that I had almost no energy left to do my homework. But my impending date with John gave me the vigor I sorely lacked. Smiling, I boxed my final answer on my math sheet. I'm done. I stretched my arms out to the sky as the door opened.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? I'm good. How are you? You're so cheery today. Is it about what John wanted to talk to you about? We're going on a date tomorrow. I'm so happy. Instead of the joy that I expected, Mai's gaze shifted away from me. She looked almost upset. Is it not a good thing? Wait, no, it's great. I'm glad you're going on a date with John. I know how much you like him. I think. It's just that, well, after you and John left, Satch started asking me some questions. He wanted to know whether John was still practicing for the tournament. Apparently, he's been skipping out on practice and hasn't been helping anyone prepare. He's told them that he's really busy with the play, but the other guys feel kind of screwed over. He's one of the founders, after all. If he's not putting in the time, why should any of them? But that's not fair. It's not? If you and John don't want to tell people what's going on, that's your decision. But then you can't be upset when people see your behavior and make assumptions based on what's there. I don't know what's going on, but John is slacking off. That's the truth. John is working really hard right now. He's got his hands completely full. Full enough that he has time to go on a date with you? But that's not fair. I'm just saying, this is what it looks like on the outside. The other guys are getting concerned. I told you, and now you know. You can decide what to do with it. What should I do with it? Guess I could try and get him to be less stressed. Talking to him about it would only make him more stressed. Well, you kind of have a point either way, but we'll go with less. I'll try and get him to loosen up a bit. He's really swamped, but maybe I can do something to help.
Bingo.
That's the spirit. It might be a rough conversation, though. Why not just make it a comment? When you see an opportunity for him to go a bit easier, then tell him. That way you don't have to spend all your time with him angsting about it. There's no reason not to be excited for your date. But if John should be spending his time elsewhere, you don't understand boys at all. If you're important to him, he'll make time for you. If anything, this is a great sign. You think?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I know. Come on, let's pick out your outfit. I stood in front of my mirror, running my hands through my bangs. There was a cowlick sticking up in front, and I couldn't get it to lay flat. Boy, do I know that one. John would be here any minute, and I didn't want to spend my entire date worried about my hair. So, can I ask you something? Sure, shoot. You like John, right? Yeah, I guess I do. Okay. But, like, why?
What?
I shot her a look, unsure of what she was getting at with this. Mai held up her hands in defense. Okay, hear me out here. I mean, the past few things you've told me about him haven't even been particularly romantic, and every time you guys hang out, you seem to get more stressed or worried. I just want to make sure you actually like the guy, and that it's not some kind of crazy crush gone awry. I turned back to the mirror, pursing my lips. It probably did look kind of bad from the outside, especially since both John and I have been so stressed. And John did say the wrong thing a lot, which could probably be taken as actual inconsideration, like he was trying to hurt my feelings on purpose or something. But that wasn't the truth of it. John wasn't that kind of person. He just thought differently from other people. That didn't make him any less sincere, or his feelings any less real. Hana? Well... But now that I thought about it, why did I like him? When I tried to think of a reason, I just got happy feelings in my stomach and images of John and Jacques together. I couldn't actually verbalize it. But Mai was waiting for my answer. Well, I mean, if you can't really explain it, then just say that. Well, about that, I didn't want to say something I would regret, or that I didn't mean, so instead I stuttered like an idiot. If I couldn't think of a reason for liking him, did that mean I didn't sincerely like him? Was this some kind of crazy infatuation? Was I more in love with love than him? I was content with not stating the extent of our feelings. Now really didn't seem like the time to add more to either of our plates. But maybe that was a bit calculated on my part. I wasn't even sure what the extent of my feelings were. And if that was the case for me, couldn't it be for the same for him? No. Wasn't it more likely that he was trying to take advantage of me in some way, just because I was being kind to him? Well, if you need time to think about it, that's okay. There was a knock at the door. My savior! Alright, and we'll see what happens in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.